Let me ask you something. How many times have you thought, if I could just earn a little more money, I'll be financially comfortable? A pay rise, a side hustle, a better job. Surely that's the answer, right? Well, here's the truth. It's not. I've worked with high income earners who are still living pay to pay, and I've worked with people on average salaries who build real wealth in just a few years. And the difference between the two is not their income, it's how they manage what they have. Most people are making 3 critical money mistakes that guarantee they stay broke even if their income triples. So today I'm breaking them down, plus what you need to do for the next 6 months to change your financial situation completely. Let's get into it. So most people think they're doing okay with money. They're not racking up credit card debt, they pay their bills on time, they might even save a little when they can. But when you ask them exactly where their money goes every month, they hesitate. And that's the first reason people stay broke. They have no system for managing money. And here's what happens next. They get a pay rise, and instead of getting ahead, they just spend more. They make decent money, but their bank account never grows. They have no idea what it actually costs to run their life. So they feel like they're always playing catch up. I had a client who once swore up and down that he was doing things super frugal, but when we actually looked at breaking down his expenses, turns out he was spending over $1,000 a month on tiny habits he didn't even notice. $10 here, $20 there, it all added up. But here's the real danger. If you don't know where your money is going, you will always feel broke. It doesn't matter if you make $50,000 or $500,000. If you have no system for managing money, you will always find a way to spend everything you make. The second reason is you think more income equals more wealth. I used to believe this too. I thought if I just work harder, I'll make more money. And once I make more money, my financial problems will disappear. But it never worked because more income doesn't fix bad money habits. It amplifies them. I've seen people making 6 figures still drowning in debt. They get the bigger house, the nicer car, the lifestyle upgrades that come with a higher paycheck, but their wealth never grows. Why? Because every time their income increases, so does their spending. This is called lifestyle inflation, and it's the reason why high earners can still end up broke. Most people don't even realize it's happening. They tell themselves, I work hard, I deserve this. And before they know it, they're locked into a lifestyle that eats up every dollar they make. And if they lost their job tomorrow, they'd be screwed. So let me be clear, making more money won't make you wealthy. Keeping more money will. And last on my list, you know what keeps people broke more than anything else? And that's waiting. They tell themselves they'll get serious about money once they earn more, or they'll pay off a little debt, or once they feel ready. But the problem is they never feel ready. So they keep going in circles, spending whatever's in their account, trying to save but never really making progress, feeling stressed about money but never really doing anything about it. And then one day they wake up and they realize nothing has changed. They've been running on the same financial hamster wheel for years and they have nothing to show for it. And the longer they wait, the harder it gets to get started because money compounds, but so do bad habits. So if you're waiting for some magical moment where everything lines up perfectly and you finally feel ready to take control of your finances, you'll be waiting forever. So where do you go from here? Well, the next step is figuring out how to break free from it. If you could take control of just 3 things over the next 6 months, your financial situation will change. This is exactly what you need to do. Number 1, find your spending blind spots. There is always a gap between where you think you spend your money and what actually leaves your account. And if you don't see those blind spots, you will always feel like you're treading water. So what you need to do is start by going through your last 3 months of bank statements. Yes, all of them, no skipping. And if you use multiple accounts, pull everything into one place. Next, you need to sort every expense into 3 simple buckets. Number 1 is discretionary, meaning you had some choice over it. So things like groceries, travel, eating out, entertainment, all those kinds of things. Number 2 is non-discretionary, meaning you had to pay this. So it's your bills, your rent, mortgage, insurances, rates, utilities. And number 3 is savings or investments. So emergency funds, investments, retirement contributions. So what you need to do is look at that and what do you notice? Are you happy about the way that these are split? Because the big secret most people don't understand is that if you decide what you want to save, you know your essential living expenses and you set those aside first, then the balance is the money that you can spend guilt-free. A simple money system changes everything. And I've been running the same simple system for 20 years and it's been responsible for creating me millions of dollars of wealth. If you want more details on my system, check it out in the description below. The second thing that will help you change your financial situation is to create a one-page financial plan. The plan doesn't need to be complicated, it just needs to exist. Most people get overwhelmed by the idea of a plan. It seems too complicated, or they worry they won't stick to it, or it stays in their head. But the truth is, a simple plan that describes what you might do, even over 6 months, can be life-altering. When I was young, I had no difficulty creating this big vision for what I wanted in the future. But the problem was I never had a plan, and I would do the dumbest things on a whim. One of the first properties I bought ended up being in a town which was suffering a bat plague. A few wrong moves though, and I decided I wanted to understand how to reduce the risk of things not working out. I just didn't understand what a plan was or how to use it. Now, studies by Harvard show that a plan stated concretely massively increases the probability of success. And I learned that a plan can be as simple as saying, just let me list out 5 things. Where am I? What do I want? By when? What milestones may happen along the way? And how much money can I consistently save towards fueling that? So let's say pick one financial goal for the next 6 months. Do you want to save $5,000? Do you want to pay off $3,000 in debt? Build an emergency fund? Just pick one. Then break it down into a weekly target. If your goal is to save $5,000, put aside $192 a week. If you want to pay $3,000 in debt, that's $115 a week. Then you need to go back through your money system and make sure you have enough flowing into your savings to cover that. Then when you have that plan, it's time to automate it. The easiest way to fail is to rely on willpower. So the day you get paid, automate that transfer into a separate account. Also, keep your plan visible. A note, a sticky note, a plan on your desk, anywhere that you'll see it. Because a written plan removes emotional decision making that causes most people to lose control of their money. If you pair all of this with a money system, you become unstoppable in your ability to make big changes in your finances. And finally, the third thing, increase your value, not just your pay. Now, I used to think that if I just worked harder, my bosses would recognize me and just offer me pay rises, but obviously that rarely happened. Years later, I found out why. I was just a minion. Having hardworking employees is great, but what makes it easy to justify spending more money is where people are valuable, meaning they have skills that are super desirable. If I'd just done the work to study what skills were in demand and invested a little time into that for a month or two, I would have catapulted myself into a different value bracket. The reality is that in every industry, some skills are in high demand while others are easily replaceable. And if you're not deliberately increasing your value, then you are making it harder to break into the next pay bracket. If you're unsure where to start, ask your boss or ask yourself, what skills in your industry are most valuable right now? What are things that people are getting promoted for faster? If you had to start over today, what skills would help you earn more sooner? So let me put this together for you. When you have a good money system and a basic plan, that's when more money can turbocharge your results. Guys, most people never change their financial situation, not because they don't want to, but because they keep waiting for the right time to start. But there's no perfect time. 6 months from now, you'll either be in exactly the same position, stressed out about money, wondering where it all went, or you'll be someone who took control. The choice is not complicated. It's just a matter of whether you do it or not. You don't need to be perfect. You don't need to know everything. You just need to start. 6 months will pass either way. Where you end up is up to you.